You call yourself a son, yet you left your own mother to rot in the village." The words struck the dinner table like thunder. Plates clattered, glasses trembled, and for a long second, the entire hall fell silent. My husband, Kunli Anam, froze with a spoon of yalla rice halfway to his mouth. His two sisters, Tola and Yemi, exchanged panicked looks. Their father's 70th birthday dinner had turned into a courtroom, and the judge was my trembling, heartbroken mother-in-law. I stood there, my pulse racing. The whole family had gathered, uncles, aunties, even neighbors from Suralair who hadn't visited in years. The air smelled of grilled meat and betrayal. "What nonsense is this, Mama?" Cunley snapped, slamming his spoon down. "You can't embarrass me in front of everyone." "Embarrass you?" she shot back, her voice cracking. "You and your sisters abandoned me in that broken house for 5 years. You forgot I even existed." The guest gasped. Even the band playing soft high-life music stopped mid-note. I could feel every eye turn toward me. The wife, the supposed pillar of respectability who'd lived in luxury, while her husband's mother begged for food in the village. I swallowed hard, wishing the ground would swallow me. "What would you do?" I whispered to myself, voice trembling, but loud enough for the microphone nearby to catch. "If your husband said he didn't owe his mother anything because she was useless?" Hit like if you've ever felt betrayed and comment where you're watching from. Kunli's jaw tightened. "Mama, stop exaggerating. Didn't I send you money every year?" Her laughter was bitter. "Money? You sent envelopes with nothing inside. Even the postman pitied me." She turned to the guest, tears streaming down her face. "This boy I carried for 9 months left me hungry. I nearly died when my hut collapsed in the rain. It was the village pastor who rebuilt it." The silence in the room turned heavy, almost suffocating. Then came her trembling words, "But God is good. He lifted me up again. The same people who saw me sleeping under that mango tree now see me driving a car someone gave me out of pity. And today, I came here not for food." She pointed a shaking finger at Kunle. "But to return your shame." My knees weakened. I had no idea she'd suffered that badly. Kunle had always told me his mother was fine, that she preferred her quiet village life. I'd even tried calling her months ago, but he'd said, "She's old and forgetful. Don't bother." Now I saw the truth, and it burned like acid in my chest. "Mama, you're being dramatic," Tola said quickly, rising to calm her. "You know we love you." "Love me?" Mama's voice was thunder again. "You all left me to die, even when I fell sick. It was my neighbor's daughter who washed my clothes and fed me. None of you came." Her words hung in the air like smoke. Every whisper, every murmur turned into judgment. The birthday that was supposed to show off Kunla's wealth now exposed his shame. I looked at him, my husband, the man who prided himself on being responsible. His eyes darted around the room, desperate to control the damage. He stood abruptly, forcing a smile. "All right, that's enough," he said, forcing a laugh that didn't reach his eyes. "Mama's old, she's confused. Everyone, eat and enjoy." Before he could finish, she reached into her handbag and pulled out a small, crumpled picture. "Look," she said, holding it up. "That's me. That's where I lived, under a torn plastic sheet. Does this look like confusion to you?" The crowd gasped again. Someone whispered, "Huh, that's wickedness, oh." Kunle's face turned red. "Put that away, Mama." But she didn't. Instead, she turned to me. Me, the woman who shared his bed, his house, his secrets. "My daughter," she said softly, tears rolling down her wrinkled cheeks. "Did you know? Did he ever tell you I was sleeping on the floor of a church for 2 years? I shook my head, trembling. "No, I swear I didn't." And then she smiled, not with joy, but with a deep sadness that chilled the room. "It's okay," she said, "because the same God who watched me suffer has shown me something. Kunli, the people you abandoned will rise before you, and you will beg for mercy and shame." She walked out slowly, supported by a young man none of us recognized. Tall, clean-cut, with eyes that burned with quiet anger. He helped her into a gleaming SUV waiting outside. The hall buzzed with murmurs again. "Who is that man?" Where did Mama get such a car? Is she rich now? Kunle was frozen. His fork slipped from his fingers. Something inside me twisted. Fear, curiosity, guilt. I turned toward him, voice low but steady. Kunle, I said, who is that young man with her? He didn't answer. His lips quivered, eyes darting to the door. That was when it hit me. He knew. He knew who that man was. And whatever secret he was hiding was about to destroy everything we thought we were. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. Who is that man, Kunle? The question slipped out of my mouth before I could stop it. The dining hall had emptied, leaving only the four of us, Kunle, his two sisters, and me, surrounded by the cold echo of what had just happened. The cake sat untouched, candles half melted. Kunle's face was pale. Mind your business, Funka, he muttered, loosening his tie. My business? I stepped closer, my voice trembling. Your mother just walked in here and called you a heartless son. Now a strange man drives her away in a car worth more than your entire salary. And you're telling me it's not my business? Yemi slammed her hand on the table. Funku, stop adding fire to this family problem. No, I said firmly. This fire didn't start with me. It started the day you all abandoned that woman. Kunle's jaw tightened. He looked ready to explode. You don't understand anything. That woman? I interrupted. You mean your mother? He shot me a dark glare. Yes, my mother. You think she's innocent? She ruined my life long before you came into it. The words stung like acid. His sisters exchanged uneasy glances. Something deeper was buried here. Something no one wanted to touch. I took a slow breath. Then explain, because from where I stand, she's the victim. He turned away, running a hand over his head. You wouldn't understand. Try me. He was silent for a long time. Then, almost in a whisper, he said, that man, the one who helped her into the car, that's my half-brother. The air went still. I felt my stomach twist. Half-brother? Tola repeated, eyes wide. What are you talking about? Kunle's voice cracked. Before my father married Mama, he had another child, a boy. He left them, married Mama, and never looked back. That boy grew up hating us. When Papa died, I tried to reach out, but he swore he'd make me pay for what our family did. I think he found Mama and turned her against me. That's ridiculous, I said, shaking my head. She's your mother, Kunle. No one can turn a mother against her child unless you gave her reason to. He looked at me then, a look that was part anger, part guilt. You're choosing her side already, aren't you? I'm choosing the truth, I said quietly. Yemi burst into tears. All this because of that village woman again. Can't she just stay in her lane? That word, village, hit me hard. It wasn't just about poverty, it was about shame. They saw her as beneath them, but the real shame was sitting right there at that polished mahogany table. I took out my phone, opened the video recording app, and hit play. The footage I'd captured from the dinner still played. Mama's trembling voice, her accusations, Kunle's face frozen in shock. Funka, delete that, he barked, reaching for the phone. No, I pulled it back. The world deserves to see what kind of man you are. His voice dropped dangerously low. You wouldn't dare. Oh, I would, I said, because I'm done covering your lies. You've been cheating on your own mother, your family, and... I stopped myself mid-sentence, my voice cracking. He stared at me. And what? I met his eyes, my heart pounding. And maybe on me too. His expression changed instantly, from anger to cold fear. What are you talking about? He demanded. I smiled bitterly. You think I don't see the messages? The calls from that woman named Amara who keeps showing up at your office? You think I don't notice the missing money? Funk, this isn't the time. It's exactly the time, I screamed, tears welling up. Because now I see what kind of man you are. The same one who abandons anyone who stops being useful to him. He stood up sharply, towering over me. Watch your mouth, woman. I stepped closer, trembling but defiant. Go ahead and hit me. Add that to your list of sins. He froze, hand midair. For a brief second, I saw guilt flash across his face. Then he turned and stormed out of the hall, slamming the door so hard the chandelier shook. Yemi whispered shakily, "You shouldn't have said all that." I wiped my tears. "No," I said. "Someone needed to." The sound of an engine outside caught my attention. I rushed to the window just in time to see Mama's SUV turning the corner. The same young man driving. But this time, the backseat door opened, and I caught a glimpse of something that made my blood run cold. It wasn't just Mama inside. There was a woman beside her, elegant, confident, and unmistakably familiar. Amara, the same woman who'd been calling Kunle every night for months. I gasped, clutching my chest as the car disappeared down the street. Kunle's half-brother, his estranged mother, and his secret mistress, all together. Something was terribly, terribly wrong. And deep inside, I knew the storm that was coming would destroy everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. When I woke up the next morning, Kunle was gone. His side of the bed was cold, his clothes missing from the wardrobe, and his phone charger unplugged. For a moment, I just stood there, staring at the emptiness. The silence in our house screamed louder than any argument from the night before. The memory of that car, that woman, that old mother, it played in my mind like a haunting movie. Amara, sitting beside Mama, being driven away by the same mysterious man Kunle called his half-brother. None of it made sense. I picked up my phone, opened WhatsApp, and scrolled through the messages. His last one to me was from 3 days ago. "Don't wait up. Working late." That same night, I'd seen Amara's call flash on his screen. I clenched my jaw. "Working late," I whispered bitterly. "Yes, right. Working on betrayal." My thoughts were interrupted by a loud knock on the door. When I opened it, there stood a tall man in a neat gray suit, the same man from last night. Mama's companion. He didn't smile. "Good morning, Mom. I'm looking for Kunle." "He's not here," I said, my voice wary. "Who are you?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a card. "My name is Dapo. I'm his brother." My heart skipped. So it was true. I stepped aside slowly. "Come in." He didn't waste time. "I know you're shocked," he said, his tone calm but firm. "But last night was not a coincidence. Mama wanted to confront him in public. She's been holding this pain for years." I sat down on the couch, hands trembling. "She could have just called. Why humiliate him like that?" He looked at me with a sadness that cut deep. "Because your husband never answers her calls. Because when her house caught fire 3 years ago, she sent him letters, begged for help. He ignored them. And when she fell sick and almost died, it was me who took her in." I swallowed hard, feeling both shame and anger twist inside me. "You mean she's been living with you?" "Yes," Dapo said. "And not just her, Amara too." That name again. I frowned. "Amara? What's she doing there?" Dapo hesitated, studying me. Then he said carefully, "Amara is my cousin, but she's also Kunle's." He paused, searching for the right word. "Former secretary." My blood ran cold. "She told me what he did to her," he continued quietly. "How he promised her a promotion if she gave him what he wanted. How she ended up losing everything because she believed him." I felt sick. "You're lying." He looked me straight in the eyes. "I wish I were." He reached into his briefcase and handed me a brown envelope. Inside were printed screenshots, text messages between Kunle and Amara. My eyes scanned the words, each one cutting like a blade. "You know I'll leave my wife soon. Be patient, baby. Once this contract clears, I'll buy you a car." Tears blurred my vision. "He said he was over her. He swore." Dapo shook his head. "He never planned to leave you. He used her just like he used everyone. But Amara didn't forget. When she found out how he treated Mama, she came to me. She wanted justice." "Justice?" I whispered. "Yes, not revenge. Justice. Mama's land in the village, the one she thought she lost years ago. Kunle forged her signature and sold it." I gasped. "No, no, that's not possible." "It is," he said grimly. "We have proof. and we're taking him to court. My mind spun. Kunle, my husband, a thief, a liar, a heartless son. I'd suspected his affairs, but this was darker than I imagined. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number appeared. You think you're smart, Funk? Stay out of this, or you'll regret it. My hands shook. Oh my God! Dapo leaned forward. He's threatened you before? No, I whispered. But now he's warning me. He sighed heavily. Then you're in more danger than you realize. For a long time we sat in silence, the air thick with tension. Finally he stood. Mama doesn't hate him, Funk. She only wants him to face what he's done. But you, his eyes softened. You have to decide whose side you're on. When he left, I felt the walls closing in. I picked up the framed photo on the table. Kunle and me on our wedding day, smiling like fools. I stared at it until the image blurred. Then with trembling hands, I dialed Kunle's number. It rang once, twice. Then he answered. Funka? His voice was cold. So, you've met my brother? Yes, I said, my voice shaking. And I know everything. He laughed. Low, bitter, dangerous. You don't know half of it. What do you mean? He paused. Let's just say, Mama's not as innocent as she looks. Ask your new friend Dapo where she got the money for that car. The line went dead. I stood frozen, heart pounding. The phone still pressed to my ear. If Kunle was telling the truth, then everything I believed was about to crumble. And somehow, deep in my chest, I felt it. This story wasn't about betrayal anymore. It was about war. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. That night, I couldn't sleep. The sound of the ceiling fan blended with my thoughts, each one louder than the next. Kunle's words echoed in my head. Ask your new friend Dapo where Mama got the money for that car. Was he lying again? Or was there truly something more behind the storm? By morning, my curiosity had turned into fear wrapped in determination. I needed answers. I called Dapo's number. No response. I called again. Finally, he picked up, his tone cautious. Funky, are you all right? No, I'm not, I said sharply. You told me Mama suffered for years. You told me she was poor and helpless. Then tell me, how does a poor woman drive a 30 million naira SUV? Where did the money come from? There was a pause long enough for me to hear the wind on his side of the call. Then he said quietly, You'd better come see for yourself. I drove out of Lagos toward Abeokuta that afternoon. The road stretched endlessly. Red dust, tall palm trees, and roadside stalls selling roasted corn. I didn't know what to expect when I reached Mama's compound, but I didn't expect that. Her old mud house was gone. In its place stood a neat, cream-colored bungalow with a small garden in front. Children played outside, their laughter carrying over the fence. The air smelled of fried plantain and clean grass. Mama was sitting under a mango tree, wearing a simple Ankara wrapper, her eyes gentle but tired. When she saw me, she smiled faintly. Ah, my daughter, you came. I swallowed hard. Mama, I needed to talk to you. She nodded slowly. Come, sit. As I sat beside her, I noticed the car parked nearby. The same silver SUV from that night, shining even in the dusty sun. I pointed at it. Mama, people are saying things. That this car... She sighed deeply, looking away. I know what they're saying. That I must have done something bad to afford it. Tears filled her eyes. But no one asked why I needed it in the first place. No one remembers how many nights I slept hungry, or how many years I begged for help. My throat tightened. Mama, I'm not accusing you. I need to understand. Kunle said. Kunle, she interrupted bitterly. That boy only remembers I exist when it suits him. He stole from me, Funk. The land my late husband left me. He sold it without telling me. Signed my name and took the money. That land was supposed to secure my old age. I stared at her. But where did you get the money to rebuild? She hesitated. Someone helped me. A man from the village. He used to work with your husband before Kunle betrayed him too. I frowned. What's his name? She looked at me carefully. Mr. Okan. He was Kunle's former business partner. They started a small logistics company together 10 years ago. Kunle convinced him to invest millions, then ran off with all the profits. My mouth dropped open. He did what? Yes, the case was buried because Okan didn't have connections. But when he found me, I didn't even know who he was. He helped me without telling me his story. Later, I discovered the truth. My hands trembled. So this man, he's helping you because of revenge? Mama shook her head. Because of justice. He said no one should ever feel powerless like he did. When he found out how Kunle treated me, he couldn't stand by. I sat in silence, the pieces slowly falling into place. Kunle had cheated his partner, stolen his mother's land, and lied to me about everything. But then I remembered Dapo. What about Dapo? He said he's your son. She smiled sadly. Yes, Dapo is your husband's half-brother, but he's also Mr. Okan's son. Different fathers, same pain. The shock hit me like a slap. So they're working together to expose Kunle. Mama nodded. They have proof. The forged documents, the fake signatures, even the bank transfers. I stood up, pacing. Then why not go to the police? We wanted to, she said softly. But Kunle's company lawyer is powerful. If we act too soon, he'll destroy the evidence. I clenched my fists. Then we'll make it public. The video from that dinner, it's already on my phone. She looked at me in alarm. You can't. It will ruin him completely. I turned to her, tears burning in my eyes. Mama, he ruined himself. You don't know what he's done to me. He's been lying, cheating, manipulating. He threatened me this morning. Her expression changed instantly, from sadness to fury. What? Yes, he sent me a message warning me to stay out of it. I'm done being scared. Mama stood, her frail frame trembling but strong in spirit. Then maybe it's time we show him that the people he abandoned can fight back. We stood there side by side, under the mango tree. Two women who had both loved the same man in different ways, both betrayed by him in the end. The sound of a car engine broke the stillness. Dapo's gray sedan rolled into the compound. He stepped out, his face tense. He walked up to us, holding a folded document. Funky, Mama, in its time. We just found something. The land Kunle sold. He used your name, Mama, to secure a loan. And now the bank is about to repossess your new house. Mama gasped. Jesus! I felt my knees weaken. How much time do we have? 2 weeks, Dapo said grimly. Unless we act now. The wind blew dust across the compound, the sound of leaves rustling like whispers of unfinished war. I looked at both of them, my husband's mother and brother, and in that moment, I made a vow deep inside my heart. If Kunle thought he could bury his sins, he hadn't met the woman I was about to become. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. 2 weeks. That was all we had before the bank would seize Mama's new house. The same house she built from her pain, her tears, and the mercy of strangers. But I wasn't going to let that happen. Not this time. I drove back to Lagos that night, my mind buzzing like a hive of angry bees. Every traffic light, every billboard, every passing face felt like it was watching me, asking, will you let him win again? When I reached home, the compound was quiet. Kunle's car was gone, but the front door was slightly open. I stepped inside carefully. The house smelled of stale perfume and cigar smoke, not Kunle's usual scent. Something was off. I flicked on the lights. Papers were scattered across the table. Receipts, contracts, and bank statements. My eyes locked on one document. Property loan, N42 million. Guarantor, Mrs. Oladipo Grace. Mama's name. My heart pounded. He'd actually used his mother's name to secure the loan. My hands shook as I went through the rest of the papers. More fake signatures, more lies. Then I heard it, a faint ringtone from the bedroom. I followed the sound. It came from Kunle's second phone, the one he always kept hidden. The screen flashed with a message notification. I picked it up. Amara. We need to talk. Dapo is moving faster than we planned. Meet me tonight at the old warehouse. My stomach turned. We planned. So Amara wasn't just a victim. She was part of something. I sat on the bed, my mind racing. Could it be that Dapo and Amara were playing both sides? Using Mama's pain to destroy Kunli? And maybe profit from it? I needed proof. And I was going to get it tonight. The old warehouse sat near the edge of the third mainland bridge, abandoned but still echoing with memories of Kunli's failed business. I parked far away and moved closer on foot, hiding behind a stack of rusted containers. Through a crack in the wall I saw them, Kunli, Amara, and Dapo, standing in the middle of the dimly lit floor. My heart hammered so loudly I was afraid they'd hear it. Kunli's voice echoed first. You think you can outsmart me, Dapo? You think you'll ruin me and take everything I built? Dapo crossed his arms. You built it on lies, brother. The world deserves to know who you really are. Kunli laughed darkly. And you? You're a saint? You're using Mama's pain for your little vendetta. Don't act holy. Amara stepped between them. Enough. This isn't about revenge. It's about truth. Both of you destroyed people's lives. Kunli, you used me. Dapo, you're using Mama. You're both the same. The silence that followed was heavy. Kunli's tone softened suddenly. Amara, you know me. You know I can fix this. We could still have everything. Money, peace, even love. Just walk away from him. She shook her head. I don't love you anymore, Kunli. I pity you. He grabbed her arm. You'll regret this. Before Dapo could step forward, I came out of the shadows. Let her go, Kunli. They all turned, startled. Kunli's eyes widened. Funka? Yes, it's me, I said, my voice trembling but steady. I've heard enough. I've seen enough. You've been lying to everyone, and now you want to drag them all down with you. He dropped Amara's arm, glaring at me. You think you can destroy me? You're just my wife. Without me, you're nothing. I took a deep breath and pulled out my phone. Maybe, but with this recording, you're finished. The color drained from his face. You recorded... Yep, I said. Every word, every confession. Amara's lips parted in shock. Dapo looked stunned. You were here all along? I had to know the truth, I said, glaring at all three of them. Now I do, and I'm not protecting anyone anymore. Kunle lunged toward me, but Dapo stepped in, pushing him back. Don't you dare touch her! Kunle shouted, You'll all pay for this! You think Mama will forgive you when she finds out what you've done? But I'd had enough. Mama already knows, I said coldly, and she's ready to fight back. The silence that followed was deafening. I turned and walked out, leaving them standing there, broken, exposed, and powerless. Outside, I took a long, shaking breath. The cool Lagos night breeze brushed against my skin, carrying the smell of the lagoon. For the first time in years, I felt free. But I also knew this wasn't over. Kunle wouldn't go down quietly. As I got into my car, my phone buzzed again. A message from an unknown number. You think you've won, Funka? Check the news in the morning. My blood ran cold, because deep down I knew the real destruction was only beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. By dawn, the world had changed. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages, calls, voice notes. I finally opened WhatsApp, and my heart almost stopped. There it was, a viral video spreading like wildfire. Wealthy Lagos businessman accused of defrauding his own mother. The clip showed snippets of last night's confrontation. My trembling voice, Kunle's shouting, Amara's tears, Dapo's accusations. Someone had recorded it from another angle and posted it online. Within hours, it had spread across Facebook, TikTok, and every gossip blog in Nigeria. Commenters were calling him the heartless son, the greedy husband, the man who abandoned his mother. I sat frozen in bed staring at my phone. Kunle's empire was burning, but I didn't know who lit the fire. By noon, journalists camped outside our gate. Neighbors whispered whenever I stepped out. My phone kept vibrating with messages of pity and fake sympathy. But there was one message that made my hands tremble. Kunle, you've ruined me, Funka. You and those traitors will pay for this. I felt my chest tighten. His tone was venom. Just then, Dapo called. Funka, are you seeing the news? Yes, who leaked that video? Not me, he said quickly. I swear. Mama's been crying since morning. She never wanted it public. But maybe it's a blessing. People finally know the truth. A blessing, I snapped. He's furious. He'll come after everyone. He has nothing left to lose. There was silence. Then Dapo said softly, then we make sure he loses everything else. That evening I went to see Mama. She sat in her living room, the TV showing the same viral news clip on repeat. Her eyes were red from crying, but her face held a quiet strength. Funka, she whispered, was it you who recorded that video? Yes, Mama, but I didn't leak it. She sighed. Maybe it was time. People needed to know. Still, I never wanted it to end like this. I knelt beside her. Mama, we can still fix this. We can recover your land, clear your name. Before I could finish, a loud knock banged on the door. Dapo rushed in, his face pale. We have a problem. What happened? He handed me his phone. On the screen was another headline. This one worse than the first. New evidence, alleged victim's family may have orchestrated fraud to frame businessman. My heart dropped. He scrolled down. The article showed photos of Dapo and me together at Mama's compound, twisted to look like we were lovers. The caption read, wife and stepbrother caught in secret alliance. I gasped. Oh my God, he's trying to destroy me. Dapo clenched his fists. He's leaking fake stories. He's trying to make you look unfaithful, to shift the blame. Mama's voice broke through the chaos. This is evil. He's lost his soul completely. I stood up, fury replacing fear. Then we'll fight back with truth. How? Dapo asked. I looked at both of them. We'll take him to court, but first I'll hit him where it hurts. His reputation. Mama's eyes widened. Funka, don't stoop to his level. I'm not, I said firmly. I'm protecting what's left of ours. That night I posted my own video, sitting in front of a plain background, no makeup, no filters, just truth. My name is Funky, I began, voice trembling. I've been married for 12 years to a man who taught me that betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. It comes from the people you trust the most. The man who defrauded his mother also cheated on his wife, stole from his business partner, and forged signatures to build his empire. I uploaded it with evidence. Copies of the documents, the forged signatures, and screenshots of his messages to Amara. Within hours, my video hit 1 million views. The tide turned again. Now the world saw the whole story. By the next morning, everything was chaos. Kunle's company released a statement claiming he was mentally unstable. His investors pulled out. Banks froze his accounts. Even Amara, once his mistress, publicly apologized to Mama, saying, I was blinded by love, but now I see who he really is. Justice was unfolding, slowly but surely. Still, I couldn't shake one thing. That last message from him, you'll pay for this. Because even though his world was collapsing, I knew Kunle. He was the kind of man who'd rather drag everyone into the fire than burn alone. That night, as I locked the doors and turned off the lights, I noticed a shadow move past the window. Then came the faint hum of an engine outside, his car, and for the first time in my life, I felt true fear crawling down my spine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What do you think happens next? Comment below. I didn't sleep that night. Every creak in the house sounded like footsteps. Every shadow felt like a threat. The lights flickered once and I froze, clutching my phone like a lifeline. Kunle was out there. I could feel it. I checked the gate camera through the app. The feed was blurry, but the outline of a car parked across the street was unmistakable. His car. He hadn't called again since his last message. You'll pay for this. But that silence was worse than anger. It meant he was planning something. I dialed Dapo immediately. He's outside. What? Yes, I can see his car. He's watching the house. I'm on my way, he said quickly. Mama's with me, I whispered, glancing at the living room where she was dozing lightly on the couch. If anything happens, lock the doors. Don't open for anyone but me. I hung up and checked every window, every latch, every door twice. Then I sat in the corner, holding Mama's hand, both of us praying in silence. An hour passed. The air was heavy. The only sound was the ticking wall clock. Then faintly, we heard footsteps outside the door. Slow, deliberate, familiar. Mama stirred. Funk, is that him? I held my breath. Stay here. The doorbell rang. Once, then again. Funka, came Kunle's voice from outside. Calm, too calm. Open the door. We need to talk. I didn't move. I'm not here to fight, he said softly. I just want to see you. To explain. I laughed bitterly. Explain? After everything you've done? I shouted through the door. You lied, cheated, and used your own mother. He sighed. I made mistakes, but you've destroyed my life, Funk. My company, my name, my home. All gone because of you. You destroyed yourself, I fired back. His voice hardened. Open this door or I'll make sure you regret it. Mama stood beside me now, her frail frame trembling. Don't open it, she whispered. That's not repentance. That's rage. The next sound we heard was a metallic clang. He was trying to break the lock. I grabbed Mama's arm and pulled her toward the back door. Just then, headlights flashed through the window. Dapo's car screeched to a stop. He jumped out, shouting, Kunle, stop this madness! The struggle that followed was chaos. Shouting, metal scraping, Mama screaming for peace. Dapo pushed Kunle away from the door, but Kunle swung back. They fought, both men grunting and yelling. Mama cried, Stop! You are brothers! That word, brothers, hung in the air like thunder. They froze, both men breathing hard. For the first time, Kunle looked at Dapo properly, not as an enemy, but as a reflection of what he might have been if greed hadn't poisoned him. And for the first time, his voice broke. Brothers? No, we were never that. I was my father's heir, and you were his mistake. Dapo's face twisted with pain. You call me a mistake, but I'm the one cleaning up your sins. Kunle pointed at Mama, voice shaking. She loved you more than me. Don't deny it. Even after everything I gave her, she chose you. Mama stepped forward, tears streaming. Kunle, my son, I never stopped loving you. I only wanted you to change. Her words seemed to pierce something deep inside him. He staggered back, eyes wild. Change? It's too late for that. He turned toward me, his expression unreadable. You wanted justice, Funka. Now you'll have it. Before I could react, he reached into his pocket and threw something onto the ground. His phone. You'll find what you want there, he said quietly. Proof, truth, everything. Then he looked at Dapo once more. You win, little brother. He walked away slowly, disappearing into the darkness before we could stop him. We rushed to pick up the phone. Dapo unlocked it easily. Kunle hadn't even set a password. Inside were folders, messages, and recordings. The truth poured out like poison. Bank transfers, voice notes of deals, documents proving he'd sold Mama's land and siphoned funds. But one last video stopped us cold. It was Kunle, sitting in his office earlier that day, speaking to the camera. His face was tired, almost hollow. If you're watching this, it means I've lost everything. I did what I thought I had to do to survive, but greed blinded me. I hurt people who loved me. My wife, my mother, my brother. Tell them I'm sorry. I'm leaving Lagos tonight. I need to disappear before I destroy anyone else. The video ended. Silence filled the room. Mama broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. My son. Oh God, my son. I sat beside her, tears streaming. He's gone, Mama. Maybe this is his way of ending it. Not with violence, but with truth. Dapo rubbed his forehead, exhausted. I'll take this to the authorities. It clears you both completely. They'll close the loan case and return your house. Mama grabbed his hand. Thank you, my child. You've done enough. Let him go. Let him start again if he can. I watched the dawn light filter through the window, the first sunrise that didn't feel heavy with dread. For years, I'd lived in the shadow of Kunli's lies, his arrogance, his control. But now I felt peace. Not because he was gone, but because I finally understood something deeper. Sometimes justice isn't about revenge. It's about release. Weeks passed. The news finally moved on. The scandal died down. The court restored Mama's land, and her new house was declared legally hers. Dapo's company helped rebuild the small logistics firm Kunle had ruined, giving jobs back to those he'd cheated. As for me, I went back to work, started counseling other women through a community group, and told my story on national radio. I didn't name names, but I told the truth about betrayal, about resilience, about healing. One evening, as I closed up the office, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "I'm alive. Don't look for me. Thank you for setting me free." No name, no number ID. But I knew. It was Kunle. I smiled sadly and deleted the message. Some wounds don't need reopening. A month later, Mom and I sat under the mango tree again, the same one where it all began. The wind rustled the leaves softly, and the smell of fried plantain floated from the kitchen. Mama reached for my hand. "Funky, you're stronger than you know. You didn't just save me, you saved our family's name." I squeezed her hand. "No, Mama, you saved me first. You taught me what love and forgiveness look like." She smiled faintly. "Do you forgive him?" I looked up at the sky, painted gold by the setting sun. "Yes," I said, "but I'll never forget." Mama nodded slowly. "That's enough. Sometimes forgiveness is the only way to end a curse." The sound of children playing nearby, laughter echoing through the compound, carried on the evening breeze. It was a new chapter, one without fear, one filled with hope. Because in the end, betrayal may break a home, but truth rebuilds it stronger. And in that truth, I found peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping stories like this. What lesson did this story teach you? Share your thoughts in the comments below.